as the new Minister of Education taking office in 2013, I've made a very deliberate and conscious decision that it is important to recognize the necessity for continuity to some degree in the education system. So I looked not just in the last administration and what was done in the last administration, but administrations before that, to see what were the efforts, what were the strides taken that were positive and that helped us to get the kind of gains and momentums that we're starting to see bear fruit now in the education system, but also where there were gaps. Then that's where I look to fill those gaps by new initiatives and by new thrusts. So one of the things that I realized that has really kind of fallen by the wayside over the last 4 years of the prior administration was really looking at doing proper inspections and assessment of the system and where we're at now. And so a big thrust for me as Minister of Education for the next year is to do a system-wide independent assessment of the system so we can develop a baseline to see exactly where we are, and then we can be able to measure progress going forward as to what we're doing and how we're improving. And so, in essence, the idea of throwing the baby out with the bathwater because I am the new Minister of Education and I need to make my stamp, I think that the country and the education system in particular has suffered as a result of that kind of mentality. And so I've taken the view that if it's good and if it's something that we're already seeing the positive results, or we know that the focus needs to be, I will continue on that path and continue to strengthen it. But where there are obvious gaps, then there's time and we need to focus on making the strides to deal with that. And one of those areas, as I said, was that of inspections and looking at what the baseline results of our system from a systematic review are, but also the area of behavior. And that's why the big thrust in the coming school year will be looking to tackle issues of behavior that some of our schools are really suffering from. And by doing that, I think we will be able to then see additional strides and additional increasing performance of our students, because once we tackle the issue of behavior for some of the schools where we do know that there are the gaps that existed previously, and hopefully in the coming September we will have addressed, or we will have a plan of action to address those gaps.